President Gerry Adams joins us now. Good evening.
Good evening, Mary.
Looking at the numbers, I see you're running 40 candidates in 37 constituencies. What's your realistic expectation returning to the 31st Dáil?
Well, I never predict or speculate about how many people were going to get elected or about how many votes we're going to gather. We will fight every constituency, and we will fight every constituency to win. And if people want real change, if people want an end to two-tierism and equality, want to see a real positive, practical, costed way of sorting out not just the economy, but getting Ireland back to work and getting a society which the Irish people deserve, then they would vote and should vote for Sinn Féin.
You were here in 2007 as president of the party supporting your candidates. This time you're running as a candidate in Louth. What differences do you notice between campaigning in West Belfast for a Westminster seat and campaigning south of the border?
Well, the issues are more or less the same, apart from the fact that the British government retains some control of fiscal matters in the north, although of course the outgoing government and the cosy consensus have handed fiscal powers back to the European Union and the IMF. The policy solutions are slightly different because of the peculiarities north and south. But I have to say, and I've been campaigning for a very, very long time, it's the first time in my lifetime that people, ordinary citizens, are saying the type of things that people like me and others have been saying for decades. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to vote for Sinn Féin, but they know that the system is rotten. They know who caused the mess. They know that we're better than this as a people. They know there's a better way forward. Some of them are hurt. I mean, grown men have broken down in tears in the Sinn Féin centre here in Drogheda, and one elderly man in Dundalk. So there's a lot of distress out there, a lot of frustration, a lot of young people leaving. But, you know, my strong view is that there is a way to sort this out. It means standing up for ourselves. It means standing together. It means a sense of solidarity. And remembering that all of these other parties have had decades to sort matters out, but rather than bring about a real republic, they've actually undermined and subverted citizenship and citizens' rights.
You've taken a bit of a battering personally for your economic knowledge, and interviews that you've given of late, and indeed even going back to 2007, have been pointed up as showing that you didn't have the sort of incisive economic knowledge that might well be necessary in a party leader, particularly if a party leader was heading into government. Do you reject that accusation, or do you take it on the chin and say, yes, I do need to go away and I do need to spend more time with the financial experts?
Well, Sinn Féin have never pretended to have all the answers, and I, as a party leader, have never pretended to have all the answers. You know, that's why Caoimhín Ó Caoimhín leads in the Dáil. That's why Arthur Morgan, the outgoing finance spokesperson, or Pierce Doherty. But I have to say this, it is rich, and pardon the irony of that word, that those who accuse us of being economically illiterate are the people who have created the mess. One thing for certain, and that they talk as if Sinn Féin didn't exist, as if we weren't in Leinster House. We warned about this, and that was one of the things that I was warning about in 2007. People also should remember, because we hear all of the other parties saying they're going to bring jobs, they're going to bring this, they're going to bring that. They said exactly the same thing when they rejected the people's democratic response to the Lisbon Treaty and came on and told lies about creating jobs and frightened people into voting the second time around. So, of course, there are things I have to learn. Of course, the minutiae, because I've only moved into Louth a number of weeks ago, of course, I put in the fundamentals and on the rights and wrongs and on genuine Republican values and the need for a renaissance of those values and for people to be empowered. I'm across all of that.
Another question, and going back, I suppose, to the IRA and the history of Sinn Féin and the Troubles. You're in County Louth now, running for a seat. How are you dealing with, if it comes up, questions about the disappeared, many buried, perhaps in County Louth and in immediate bordering counties, and questions about what happened, where they are, the information that should be available, and why it happened, and, you know, happened on your watch in Sinn Féin?
Well, first of all, it didn't happen on my watch in Sinn Féin. If you recall, these people were taken away, these unfortunates, shot and put in unmarked graves away back in the early 1970s. It was myself and Father Alex Reid who, because some of these families are Republican families who I know personally, that we started to deal with the issue very belatedly, and an awful injustice was done, and I am sorry for that. I regret that very much. When I went forward in Louth, I said that one of the campaigns that I was going to continue with was the ones which are about getting those people back to their loved ones into a grave, a Christian burial, where people can go. And that work continues, and I will continue to do that work. And I have to say, it is not raised with me, and I was canvassing today in North Louth. I'm canvassing now in South Louth. The media raise it, and that's legitimate. I'm not objecting to that. There's a conflict. The conflict's over. We're in a better place. A lot of people have been hurt. We won't be able to bring those who were dead back again, but we can certainly make this a country where that never ever happens
All
again.
right, Gerry Adams, just finally and briefly, apart from winning a seat yourself in County Louth, what in this campaign, what seat, if Sinn Féin could take it, would give you greatest satisfaction?
Well, as many seats as possible. I don't see it in those terms. We're about change, Mary. We're about positive change in people's lives. We're about making republicanism relevant in people's lives. We're about a united Ireland. We continue to work with the unionists. We continue to reach out to our Protestant brothers and sisters in the north, and Mark McGuinness is showing great leadership there. But really, we need to get real in this part of the island. We need to stand up to bad politicians the way we stood up to bad politicians in the 6 counties. And as sure as I am that partition is wrong, and there's a way of ending that, I'm sure that what's happening here is wrong, and there's a way of sorting that out. There's a better way. People need to make a stand, and to vote for Sinn Féin is a very democratic and easy thing for people to do on the day.
Gerry Adams, President of Sinn Féin, thank you very much. It's 6:45. We'll take a break.